Hi, my name's Stuart from the Norfolk Honey Company. Today we're doing some inspections in the pear orchard, and we've noticed that this particular colony could do with a bit of a spring clean. So we're going to show you how we spring clean our colonies simply by replacing all the dirty equipment from the winter. You can see the propolis has forced the frame runners away from the side of the brood box. So we're going to do a complete replacement and spring clean. So what we've got is a clean floor, new brood box and a new crown board, and we'll simply start by moving the old hive onto a spare stand and then gradually replacing the combs into the new brood box one at a time, and making sure that we keep all of the frames in the same order as they are in the brood box. So this is going to be a one-handed operation if I'm going to hang on to the camera, so bear with me and we'll see how we go on. So we've moved the old hive and floor off the old stand position. I moved it onto the spare stand, and we're now going to move the new floor and brood box into the position that the hive occupied. Okay, so that's the new brood box. This is a commercial brood box which takes a 16 by 10 frames, and you'll notice that the runners are positioned so that they mirror the position known as the cold way on the old brood box. So I'm now going to start using my hive tool to move some of the frames away and then transfer them gradually across into the new position. So the first frame I always move out of the way so that it gives us a bit of room to manoeuvre. You can see the propolis that these bees have produced along the tops of the frames, and hopefully when we get them into the new brood box we've got metal runners on instead of plastic, and that will stop the runners from collapsing and the bees making lots of gummy propolis all along the edges. So I'm just going to switch the camera off so that I can transfer these a little quicker, and then we'll resume once I've loaded up the new brood box with all the frames. One point that I did forget to mention was make sure that you try and find your queen and transfer her safely across. And you should just be able to see her here. Let's see if we can balance the frame and get a good look at the queen. There she is, with the blue dot on her back. So that's all of the frames transferred across. There's still the one on the floor that is yet to go in, but while I've got them open, I'm just going to use a sharp hive tool just to clean away all of the propolis along the edges here, and simply using the hive tool gently to ease the propolis away from the frames and just tidy everything up. So that's the last frame in place, and here we have 11 frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and just going to put the queen excluder back on. Try and avoid squashing any bees wherever possible. So that's the queen excluder, and we've got the super with the old crime board on, so I'm just going to lift that on. So that's the super back in place, and we'll just have a look in the super and see how much room they've got, see whether they need another super. Should probably have looked before I put it back on, but not to worry. So the bees are working the super really well. The weather's about to warm up, and I know that we're in for some fine weather. These bees have access to oilseed rape, so I'm going to pop another super with foundation on, and hopefully they'll start drawing that out while still filling this particular super. So I've just collected a new super with new frames and foundation. This happens to be unwired foundation. So what we'll do is we'll pop this super on top of the new super, so that the bees have to go through the new super to get to the old super which is already drawn. So I'll just lift that off and reposition it. So that's the new super in position. The bees will now have to walk across the new frames to get up into the super, and that hopefully will encourage them to start working the frames of foundation and start pulling them perhaps quicker than they might if the super was placed on top of the old super. They might not be quite so keen to move up and into it. So this number at the side here is from last year, and it was on hive number 48, so we'll wash that off. The hive's been sterilised over winter, so this will now be well, that's the first of two, hopefully many more supers that will go with hive 30 for this year, and these supers will remain with this hive now for the whole of this season. I'm just going to remove the number and place that onto the new crown board, and then we can close them up and leave them to carry on foraging. And that's it complete. There's the roof now going back on, and let's see if we can see these coming back with maybe some pollen. You can see them fanning the Nazinov gland, which is their way of indicating where home is. And now that they have a new floor and brood box, it's going to smell slightly different, so they'll be keen to make it their own. There's a bee with some oilseed rape pollen, the bright yellow pollen at the top of the screen. And with a field approximately half a mile away, so I know they're foraging on Quilted Ray. Okay, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe and click the like, and hopefully we'll be able to produce some more, maybe do a video of cleaning the old brood box and preparing it ready for reusing. Thanks very much.